Salutations and welcome back to my survival world in the Attack of the B-Team mod pack. What I name this again? Hobbiton? Yeah, that's it. So, welcome back to Hobbiton. In the words of the immortal Professor Farnsworth, good news everyone! I am getting a new microphone. It should be here on Wednesday, so hopefully it gets here before I record Wednesday's episode so I can show off my delightful new quality. Now, as I mentioned in the end of the last episode, my plans today are to gather the proper resources to build a nice house next to Eva Valentino. So, first I'm going to go back to her house and sleep in my bed so I can get back to daytime and skip the night. And then I will probably time-lapse, or not time-lapse. I don't have the proper resources for a time-lapse quite yet. Ooh, a crown. Alright, let me just, well... Okay, I'm probably gonna just... Okay, yeah. There we go. Should get some drying racks up and start freezing some meat. Or not freezing, drying. Okay, so. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go harvest some... Well, not really harvest. Gather some marble and some limestone and wood. And figure out where I'm going to put this house. So I'll go do that, and I'll see you then. Alright, found a bat, come on, let's... Alright, yes. And now we have the bat morph. Woo, that'll make things easier. Alright, so I've got a nice 7x7 hole here, and this will be the floor of my new house. So I'm going to make that out of limestone. And let's see which of these looks like a good floor pattern. Let's see what this one looks like. Oops. Nice way to start home construction, placing a block wrong. Alright, not connecting textures, but still pretty nice looking. I want to take out a block about... Well, I'll figure that out in a minute. Oops, I did it again. Alright, so that will be the floor from above. I did take the liberty of going through this cavern and lighting everything up. It's not as expansive as I thought it would be. It's still pretty small. I'm gonna want to block that off. But I've decided that this area will become my basement. So I've left everything intact, apart from a bit of limestone that I figured I might need for construction. So, yeah. I haven't decided whether to furnish this as a basement by smoothing it out and giving actual processed walls and floors, or whether to just sort of flatten everything out after I harvest the resources and keep it mostly the way it is, shaped. Stone floors and all that good stuff. Just have a cavernous basement, in every sense of the word cavern. So, going to want a ladder to get in here, of course, and I think I will put that right about here. Actually, no, that's not a good idea. I want it in a corner. That'll make it a lot easier. That will be where I get into the basement. I want to put the door about here, probably. So, I'll take the block I just stole from there and put it right here. Now I'm going to figure out what I want the walls to be made of and get back to you. Alright, I've decided to make it out of marble, And I've chiseled a couple of stacks of marble into, let's see, these, oops, and these, which look about the same, but not quite. I realize this looks like a pretty square building. Unfortunately, these cannot be microblocked down into smaller sizes, so I'm going to be microblocking some oak wood and giving this thing some more texture to it. So I'm going to start working on building this, and I'll get back to you with some progress updates in a little bit. Okay, may not have chose the best texture for this. I was hoping it would look a bit more like a nice fancy bunker and a bit less like a public bathroom. So I'm gonna figure out what to do with this, and I'll get back to you. Okay, I was working on the house through the night, and there are monsters everywhere. So coward that I am, I'm going to fly up and wait for the daylight to take care of the problem for me. Alright, I've kind of got something here. I'm not exactly the best at building for, visual. I'm not great at small details. So let me know what you think, I guess, and I'll, add a roof and whatnot, get some glass in these windows. Ooh, or, that's an interesting idea. I have an idea. Alright, I'm gonna take care of the skeleton and try out my idea and get back to you. Alright, so for the windows, I was thinking this. But the thing with this is, when you microblock these, it shows the top of the log texture on top of here, and that's kind of annoying. These are the barricade from the Tinker's Construct. This is stacked 4 times, which means in order to break this, I literally have to break through the block 4 times, like so. And as you can see, it's going to take a while, but yeah. Oh, and I guess it doesn't drop when it breaks. That's good to know. But I think this looks a bit better because A, it's a sort of hatch pattern rather than just a crossed pattern right there, and B, it doesn't have the annoying texture like that on it. So I think I'm gonna go with this for the windows, and I guess I'll make a lot of that. It's pretty resource intensive. Each time you place one of these things, it costs 2 oak logs, and each one of these is 4 of these. So that means for each one of these windows, that's 8 logs that it's going to cost me. So I guess I will finish up with that and get back to you. I find it a bit odd that in order to cash in on my orange harvest here, I have to chop down the entire tree. I currently live in Florida, which of course is the place where most oranges in America are known to come from. I think actually a lot of them come from California too. But I'm pretty sure you don't usually have to chop down the tree in order to get to the orange crop. I'm not complaining. I mean, this is a great source of oak wood for me, but just thought I'd mention that it seems a little odd. Okay, this is a little odd. I've got a couple of acacia wood here, and apparently I can use those to make an oak barricade. So this might not be nearly as expensive as I expected, considering I am close to quite a lot of acacia wood. So I'll finish this whole thing up and get back to you. Alright, I've got all the barricades in place in the windows, and I removed the oak wood around the door and windows because that looked like a bit too much oak wood all in one place. I might try to replace them with something else. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about that yet, so I'll figure that out and probably get a roof on this place and get back to you. Okay, I'm kind of running out of time to record today's episode, so for the sake of convenience, I just went with a quick marble slab roof. Kind of interesting. If I go with the chisel here real quick, inventory's getting a little crowded. The metamorphic stone marble, that's the artifice mod, if you'll see that in the tooltip there, it's that can be half slabbed using the any saw. This, however, the chisel marble and all of the other chiseled marbles cannot be half slab or cannot be chiseled down into micro blocks. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you want some half slabs or smaller marble pieces, go with the artifice marble. So, a couple other things I wanted to show you. If I can grab this right here. If I fly in here, you'll notice that it is all lit up, but there are no visible light sources, except, of course, for this torch. And that's because I'm using some stealthy lighting techniques that I have come up with. If you'll see, this is my trapdoor right here, that's just to let you know that. But what I do is I take one of these blocks, I carve it out, let me chop one up here real quick, and then I put a microblocked cover on it. If you go with a panel, which is the second smallest size, then all the smoke can get through, but if you go with the cover, all the smoke gets trapped underneath the cover in between the floorboards. So, we just put some of that there just for the heck of it. Pop a cover on there, and there we go. The light shines right through that, but none of the smoke or anything like that gets through. You've got a nice stealthy lighting system. And one more thing I wanted to show you. My inventory's getting a little crowded. I'm gonna have to... Oh. There we go. So if I take the saw here, microblock this into half slabs. I only need one of those. Now, if you want to save resources on stairs, I hear a zombie, I'm going to kill him in a little bit. If you want to save resources on stairs, you could, of course, put a single block into a... what is it? Carpenter's staircase, and that will save resources. Because if something has a staircase recipe, it takes a full... what is it, 6 blocks, and you only get 4 back. So it's kind of expensive, it doesn't really make much sense. If you use the carpenter's staircases, 1 full block becomes a staircase, so you get a 1-to-1 ratio plus whatever resources it takes to make the carpenter's blocks. But if you have a block that you can microblock, you can save on resources simply by doing this. Zombies in the way. But cut them down into half slabs. Take that, one of those slabs, put it right there. Then take another half slab, and cut that down further into these limestone pillars, or whatever type of pillar you need. Put the pillars right there above the half slab, and there you go. You've got yourself a cheap staircase. So, I'm going to build some stairs down here, and probably add a door, and finish up with this being a house by moving all my furniture from, what's her name, Eva Valentino. I haven't seen her all this episode. Huh. So I'm going to move all my stuff from her house and from the older mine over there into here, and get back to you when I finish with that. Alright, so Eva, wherever she is, she might be trapped somewhere, and if she is, I probably have to help her out. Or she might have despawned, I hope not, I'd like to have a neighbor. But Eva, wherever you are, I'm mostly moved out. I'll grab one of these furnaces, but I'm going to leave this crafting station and furnace here, one of these, for you, because you stayed in your house unwelcomed for a few days, and well, you know, I'm gonna have to repay you somehow. So, here's my house. Now, freshly built. Head up the stairs here, and in through the fancy door. I've got a nice bed here. I'll have to bring in some storage and move all my storage from Ava's house. But yeah, I've got an item frame here, and I'm going to place that right there because home is where the heart is. So, now we know that this is in fact home sweet home. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And until next time, farewell.